Hi everyone, so today we're taking a look at Android Lollipop running on the Nexus 5. Now in many ways this is the pure Google experience, so if you happen to have a Samsung device or a HTC device or other, it won't look exactly like this by the time those manufacturers have done skinning. But first of all, let's take a look at the notification area, which has changed quite considerably. What we now have are notifications that sit in the center area. Double tapping will send you into the responsible app for that notification, and you can then take action from there. Within the main Android interface, as it were, they've given all of the icons a major tickle up. Everything is now quite flat, and generally speaking, they've done a good job at making sure all the icons are the same vertical height. It's not perfect, but it's getting better. Now generally as we move around the interface, you'll notice all of those Google inbuilt icons are looking really nice and slick. Obviously, as I've been adding and testing other apps and so on, you can really kind of see the difference in the style really when you move to this material design interface. Now, technically, everything is working very well here. The Android L operating system is fast and responsive. That move over to ART for loading applications does make a big difference. One area which has probably seen the widest range of changes is this notification shade. It now looks much more slick than it ever did before, and you can now dismiss any notifications using a small chiclet at the bottom, or the hamburger as some people call it. Within the notification shade area, we have access to all of the usual suspects: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, your flashlight, location, and also now an option for casting the screen as well. Now, casting screen, if you have a Chromecast device plugged into your TV, you can hit the cast screen option and send your display directly over to that screen. Really cool little feature, and it's built directly into the operating system itself. Coming into the settings area, again, things have been given very much a material design makeover. Much more simplistic use of white space and very flat icons that don't add anything massively to the aesthetics, but at least tone everything down, make things a little bit easier to read. Your text and fonts are now in a light grey colour within this area as well. Again, aesthetically it just looks a little bit nicer than it did before. There's not really any major changes here that you can kind of show from the settings area. One major change in the improvements really in the background is how battery life is being handled. It should be considerably better than it has been before. When we actually come and look in Google's main apps, we can see the biggest sets of changes. Certainly when we look at calendar, you can see this material design ethos is really running through it quite fantastically. When you come into particular months, you can get a lovely parallax effect over that month's image. It looks really, really slick. Likewise, adding an event is available through this floating roundel effectively at the bottom, this add button. And this is common to all of the different Android apps that Google have built here. Maps, likewise, has also taken on a bit of a new look and feel. Things are considerably more slick, as it were, in comparison to previous versions. YouTube has seen the smallest number of changes, purely because it's something that gets updated separately from the main Google effect, as it were. But as you can see, nothing much has really changed there. Likewise, Keep has taken on a slightly new look and feel, but it's really just a tickle up of the material design, nothing revolutionary. Phone Dialer has probably seen the biggest set of changes within the interface. It now looks considerably more slick than it ever did before, with lots of sliding panels and so on, really showing off that material design layered effect within the UI. Play Store likewise has taken quite an update, but we've kind of seen this already dropping down into devices previously, so nothing major really to show you here. It's all just looking quite nice and slick. Now, mention should really be given to some of the technical issues that seem to be plaguing Nexus 5 devices that have had the Android Lollipop update added to them. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi is still causing problems outside of the USA. This all seems to be down to the fact that Android L, for some reason, isn't able to see the full range of channels available. Channels 12 and 13, which are available outside of the US, don't seem to be available to this device. If you happen to have your Wi-Fi router set to channels 12 or 13, you're going to have to drop back into 1 to 11 if you want your Nexus 5 to connect successfully. Overall, I'm quite impressed with what Google have done with Android Lollipop. whilst there's not a major raft of changes here, it's a more of a tickle up in my opinion is Material Design. But overall, it makes Android feel fresh again. The changes they've made to the underlying code, speeding up the interface, again are very welcome, and fitting in with this new Material Design, it makes everything feel so slick and fluid, in ways that we haven't really had from previous Android releases. It'll be a while before we see the full range of Android L features kind of adopted across different apps and devices. For instance, it would have been nice if Google had actually put in place the RAW mode support for their camera app. They didn't bother, but it is there within the Android L API for other apps to make use of. It would have been a major boon, I think, for Google to have that Android L RAW support available in their own apps. It's a bit of a shame they simply aren't showcasing that really at this time. Likewise, things like battery life are going to take a while before we really know the full impact there, and it's so variable on the general conditions you have to be using your device in, it could be quite a while before we can really nail down if these new changes have made a substantial difference to battery life. But overall, I love what Google have done here. It's a major improvement over what we've had previously, and it shows the way, hopefully for the next 3 years or so, of design elements within the Android ecosystem. What we now need is developers to really adopt this for Android so we have common look and feel across all the different devices. Unfortunately, what I think will probably happen, as usual, is a fragmentation within the design scheme. Facebook will do its own thing, everybody else will probably follow Material Design. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, and do please like and comment on these videos as well. We love to chat. We're 100% independent. Help keep us that way. Become a patron on Patreon and support us with $1 a month to help keep us 100% independent. An honest opinion direct from the UK. All patrons are entered into our monthly prize draw to win items from our review bag. And once again, thanks for watching.